No one cleans like Gaston, quarantines like Gaston. No one stops spreading COVID-19 like Gaston, 'cause there's no one in town quite as cleanly. Perfect to scrub and it's gone. You can ask any Tom, Dick, and Henry, and they'll tell you whose scrubs they prefer he put on.